Hi there, I'm Chris from CarsonsBazaar.com, and today we're going to continue the narrative campaign for the Walking Dead All Out War expansion Days Gone By. Chapter 2, City Slickers. So before we start this chapter, I'm using the Deluxe Atlanta game mat, using the scenery booster, and I'm also using the Rick on Horse model as well. The walkers are a mixture of different boosters and expansions, and there's also the Ronnie Renton Mantic Points walker as well, which I got through the Kickstarter. Using the premium accessory kits, the walker and the survivor ones. And I'm using the event cards from Prelude to Woodbury. Since this is a solo mission, these cards are just worded a bit more for use for solo play. Chapter 2, City Slicker. Leaving his friends behind, Rick undertakes the long journey to Atlanta to find his family. Forced to travel on horseback, Rick is overwhelmed by walkers within city limits. Now he is trapped in a city crawling with the Walking Dead. For this chapter, the recommended participants is Rick Grimes, police officer, and I also get up to 20 points of equipment. Now, since I won the first chapter and I secured 3 tokens, I get an additional 5 points of equipment for each supply counter. So I get to start with up to 35 points of equipment, which I've used 32 points to bring in a horse and a hatchet as well. Now the horse, it allows me to move up to 12 inches, but it always causes noise. It can cross traversable scenery with no penalty, but may not climb or enter buildings. Grants up to 3 other items, attachment horse keyword. Discard this card to ignore all damage from a single attack. Replace mounted model with a model on foot. So the way the horse works, it ups your movement, but you're always causing noise, and you can also carry more items. It's basically a backpack in that sense, as well as an armor piece, because if you get attacked, you can have the horse take the attack and you can just get away on foot then. So it comes in quite handy, especially when you're like surrounded by the walkers like you are on this one. So the scenery I've set up as it suggests in the Days Gone By book. The supply tokens, there's 1 in each car. There's 12 walkers, and Rick is placed in the centre of the spawn edge here. The threat level's been set to 4, and the victory conditions: the player wins when the survivor moves off the escape edge. It must have enough movement to take itself physically off the edge of the board, and it is the only model that may move off during the game. The game ends automatically as soon as the survivor has left the board. Now when you're measuring things for horses, I'm going to move this back a little bit, because you measure from the widest part of the base when you're using like the non-standard circular bases. Okay, first turn, Rick's going to move, and you can move up to 12 inches because of the horse. So just think what will be best. So I'm gonna move it to here. So that creates noise, and the closest walker will be this walker here. So that moves into there. Now last game I said that scenery hubs, doesn't matter if a walker's in contact with it, you can still search it. I was actually wrong there, you can't. just like if you were in contact with the walker, you're not going to be able to search it. The vehicles and resource hubs are an extension of that. So that was my bad there. So Rick's not going to be able to do anything now, so because he's definitely not going to cause noise to lure another walker in. So that's the end of his turn. So for the first part of the event phase, we check the kill zones of the walkers. So this walker is within range, so it comes round. Push that back into place. And this one is well out of the way. Okay, then we go to the event cards. So you draw the top card, and here I have one stay down. I'm in low threat, so for this, for each prone walker, roll a black dice. On a shield, the walker gets up. If there are no prone walkers, add 1 to the threat level. So we've got no prone walkers, so the threat level is going to go up to 5. So we'll just discard the event card there, and we'll move on to the next phase of it, which is combat. So there is combat, so the threat's going to go up by 1, so we're now at threat level 6. So for the combat, we have Rick, who is a white dice melee, and the hatchet adds another white dice. Since there's only one walker, it's just a single red dice. So we have 2 for Rick, and the walker rolls 1. So Rick has won that combat, so that knocks it back 1 inch there, and knocks it down because I dealt damage. Then we'll go on to the end phase. So we roll for prone walkers, and it gets up. And it doesn't move straight into combat, it stands there. Rick's first action that he's going to perform is search. Since this walker isn't in contact with the vehicle, he's able, and it's also not in contact with him, he's able to search it. So draw a supply card, and I get the ever useful ammo reload. Now at the minute this isn't much use to me, but you never know what we're gonna draw out on other resources. Okay, now then we have Rick's second action. As the horse can traverse traversable terrain with no penalty, it's essentially a runner in that respect. We are able to move straight over the car, and we'll be able to move up to here, which is just over 8 inches, so it's still within the horse's 12 inch. And the nearest walker is going to be this chap here. It will move towards the source of the noise and into combat. So that's the end of that. That's both of Rick's actions, and we now check the kill zones. Just get a better look there. Rick's just out of the kill zone for that walker, so we're fine for that. And then we draw the top card from the event deck, which is there's a storm coming, which adds +1 to the threat, and we are in low threat, so the tension reaches fever pitch. Add 1 to the threat level, so we add another 1, so we're now at threat level 8. Immediately draw 2 more event cards, applying the results 1 at a time. So the first one that we draw is The Walking Dead at +2 threat. So that's just put me to threat level 10, which is a medium threat. So 2 blue dice worth of walkers enter play, and then each move towards the nearest survivor, which isn't ideal. So that is 4 walkers enter in play. So I'm going to put one on the centre of each board edge. Then they will shamble towards Rick, so bonk. Shambles to there. To there. And up to there. So that's not ideal because Rick's not going to be able to search that one at the beginning of the next turn. Then we draw the second one, which is Frayed Nerves. We are in medium threat, so one model with low or medium nerve of the player's choice creates mayhem. If there are no eligible models, add 1 to the threat level. So we are now at threat level 11. So as you see, the There's a Storm Coming event can really mess up the game there. It just adds so much to the threat, or it has the possibility of adding so much to the threat. I mean, right there, what did we get? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 added to the threat in one event phase. And then we've got combat, which puts we at threat level 12. So it's been an eventful round, that's for sure. So Rick has two white dice for his attack. He does 4 with a headshot, and the walker scores none. So Rick kills that walker, and that's the end of the combat there. There's no prone walkers to roll for, there's no bites, and victory conditions haven't been met. So I dare say we go back to the top of the round. So I've just brought the camera in so we can get a little bit closer into the action here, because it's all kicking off at this point now. So first action for Rick, he is going to he's going to use an action to hold his nerve. So we roll a black dice, and he doesn't manage to hold his nerve. So that's one action. Second action, he is going to move just a couple of inches just to there, and that will create noise because of the horse. So the closest walker is going to be this one here, and that'll just move around the car and into combat with Rick there. So that ends Rick's action. We then go to check and kill zones, and yeah, Rick's well out of the kill zones there. So we draw the top event card, which is Pandemonium. We add 1 to the threat level, so we're now at threat level 13, we're still at medium threat. So we roll 2 blue dice and move that many eligible walkers towards the nearest survivor, and then blue dice worth of walkers enters play. So 2 walkers are going to move towards Rick, and 2 walkers are going to enter play. Okay, so we'll move these walkers first. This one's going to bonk into there, and this one is going to bonk into there. Now then, where are we going to place these? This one will come into play here, and the other one will come into play here. So we'll discard that. And threat goes up one more to threat level 14 because we're in combat. And Rick has 2 white dice for combat. Scores 2. And 1 red dice for the walker, 2 with a bite. So, since that's a draw, the classes as survivor wins, and the bite doesn't take effect. So that's just going to get pushed back an inch there. We've got no prone walkers to roll for, we've got no bites, and we haven't hit the victory conditions just yet. So that's the end of the round, we go back to the top. Okay, Rick's first action. With how high the threat level is, I don't really want to be sticking around to try and clear these walkers, because that's at most 3 threats there, because I don't want to be taking on too many at once. So I think it's going to be for the best if Rick escapes. So clearly within the 12 inch, goes over, gets off the escape edge, and Rick wins. Yay! So that was Chapter 2 of the Walking Dead All Out Wars narrative campaign for the expansion Days Gone By. If you're interested in any of the things that I've used in the game today, links to them will be down below, available for purchase from carsonsbazaar.com. Thank you.